Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another segment of Mind Your Business. My name is Gabriel Castillo, and I'm your host for today. Mind Your Business is a little bit about Laredo and a little bit about everything that moves and shakes Laredo. Of course, our economy is probably the main topic that we discuss most of the time in our show, but we also have various topics, various aspects of what happens in the business world. One of those that's very important is our education. Our education system in Laredo is growing and thriving thanks to many entities. Among them is our guest who is with us today. Adriana Nunemaker is the Executive Director of the University of Texas Education and Research Center at Laredo. Welcome to our show.
Thank you so very much for having me here. It is my honor to be here with you.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time because you are a very busy person. And I know part of your work involves not only Laredo, but it involves students, it involves the community, it involves corporations, because your campus is growing and thriving.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the university and what's happening right now.
Well, okay, there's a lot to talk about.
Yes.
But one of the things is that the UT Center at Laredo is a multi-institution teaching center, which means that we are able to leverage the power and success of each of the University of Texas institutions. So what we do is we recruit specific universities, especially we're trying to fill a need. As you know, we're medically underserved. And so part of what has happened is this is in response to try to provide the education that we need so that those folks that after they graduate, they stay here and work in the community and the region. So that is something that has been, one of the best things. We have 5 universities, and we have 1 doctorate program that's launching next year. But all of the programs that we have, none of them are arbitrary. We know because we hear from the stakeholders. Mm-hmm. So while education is a huge component of this, we are also we also do patient care. And there's research that is happening at the UT Center at Laredo. I don't think that too many people realize that, but we are affiliated with the Glenn Biggs Institute from San Antonio. And we have physicians who come into town every Monday, and they will see patients who are suffering from dementia. The family members will come in, and they are treated by one of the best doctors ever. But there's other good doctors that come in. And then we have some clinical trials also happening at the UT Center at Laredo. So we're a little bit of a lot.
Yes, and part of that, speaking of the dementia issue, it's something that's very prevalent here in the community. And I know we're going to be discussing that in another show. But in particular, your campus is dealing also with various aspects and various degree plans that involve healthcare. Right?
Yes.
And I know one of them that I'm familiar with through Denise Longoria is the social work program. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? That's also a program that's here at part of the camp.
Yes. In fact, we're very proud to have UTRGV with us. Mm-hmm. The first program that they brought to us was the School of Social Work. They started with a bachelor's, and now they are at a master's level. So they have graduated a significant amount. Again, we've only been in existence for 3 years, but the first year that we launched, the enrollment expectations were exceeded. And so we were happy about that. And we've been on an upward trajectory ever since. So they have the School of Social Work, and it's so important to have this particular program because we don't have enough in the community. Yeah. And one of the other things that we're very excited about is that now the social workers can go into the school districts and be able to address issues that a school counselor may or may not be able to address. Students have so many different needs, but it has been one of the best programs that we've had.
And the more I see you, and we've talked a lot about the different things that you're doing, and I can't keep up with you sometimes because there's so many things happening. I know we talk about so many things, and the latest one was September the 18th when you had what we consider a big honor to have Chancellor Milliken here at your campus, kind of inaugurating programs. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I thought that was pretty exciting.
It really was very exciting. We had about over 150 guests that attended, and they were from across the healthcare business sector. We had all of the deans from each of the universities there, faculty from each university, and we had our students there as well. When Chancellor Milliken comes into town, and we're so grateful for him and Executive Vice Chancellor Dr. John Zerwas, because they have truly invested in Laredo. So part of having this third anniversary celebration was to talk about where we started and where we're going, where we are now and where we're going. And, that was something so significant. But I have to tell you, I need to give Chancellor Milliken a shout out because he is one of the most dynamic chancellors, and I'm fortunate to serve under his leadership. Because not only did he initiate creating a multi-institution teaching center, we are now able to provide micro-credentials for different organizations. And those micro-credentials are for anything that has to do with people skills, soft skills. If there is an organization that wants to enroll their employees in a particular skill, we curate the courses so that we could make it specific to an organization. We've rolled it out to the school districts already, and we're heading out to the hospitals as well. We're not finished. Coursera is something that the Board of Regents, the University of Texas Board of Regents, and Chancellor Milliken worked on. So it kind of bridges a gap that is where we have to be able to provide for folks who didn't have an opportunity to go to college, but you know what? They're working somewhere and we want to upskill them. And these are very, very good micro-credentials.
I want to learn a little bit more about that because that's an interesting information. But we'll be right back in a couple of seconds with more on the university and Adriana Nunemaker's work there. We'll be right back.
Hola Laredo, Marcela Delgado here, inviting you to join the fun. There's a little bit of everything for everyone. Lifestyle, fashion, wellness, local shops and services, yummy eats, live music, entertainment, and of course, so much more. Catch the Hola segment on air, only on KGNS Plus. Visit our website, holalaredo.com. Follow us on our social media too. Want an interview for your business or event? Send us an email. Talk soon.
KGNS aims to inspire, uplift, and unite our community while showcasing the incredible acts of heroism and leadership that happen right in our backyard. Show us your community spirit. Together, we can empower others and celebrate those who make our hometown a better place to live in. Join us every fourth Tuesday of the month to recognize the drive and commitment from citizens making a change. KGNS Honors, only on KGNS News.
And welcome back to Mind Your Business. We have the pleasure of talking today to Adriana Nunemaker, who's the Executive Director of the University of Texas Education and Research Center here at Laredo. And Adriana, once again, thank you for being with us today. And I know we're learning a lot about what's going on within our city and within the education system. Higher learning, of course, is very important to us. And while we feel that we don't have enough access or opportunities, we really do. And I think it's very important. To me, it was very important to have you here on the show to share this information. First of all, not just because I attended University of Texas at Austin, but the UT is a great school and the UT system is a great system. So I believe through your work and through the classes and courses and degrees offered, you are a UT graduate when you graduate, right? I mean,
It depends on the university you enroll with.
Okay.
So for the School of Social Work, you will graduate from the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley.
Okay.
If you're from UT Health Houston, that's where you graduate from. We are not a degree granting institution yet, but I would certainly believe that that might be something in the future. But, you know, in talking about this model, one of the things that I'm so proud about is I have never heard of a model like this. And we didn't know what it was going to look like when legislation had passed and we became the University of Texas
So this is
Education.
unique. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this is unique. Then there's no other like formal campus like this with various.
No, I'm not aware of that, and I'm not aware of it. But this is interesting also that we celebrate. We are the only city in the state of Texas that has the most University of Texas institutions. So, you know, that's a good thing.
That's quite a feat. And
It is.
I'm sure there's people that we can thank for that. This was, I'm sure, instigated or initiated by the university, but I'm sure you had our legislators also involved in the process.
Senator Saffirini, Dean of the Texas Senate, I mean, she was at the forefront. But we don't forget either Representative Richard Raymond and Representative Tracy King, because they helped, they co-authored that, and they were able to pass it. So we are indebted to them because there was a vision, and we knew that we had to do something. What was that going to look like? Well, I was tasked to build it. And I was able, and I have an incredible team that we learned to build together. First, we built our core, then we started to build out. So while we talked about the anniversary, it was focused on all the things that we've done to date. But it was also important to announce that we have 2 more programs that are coming to Laredo. One is a Master's of Science in Counseling with a mental health care track, and the other one is a Bachelor of Science in Clinical Laboratory Sciences. Those are, you know, really, really important. And Dr. Guy Bailey is the president of UTRGV, and he was here to make those announcements. You know, that entire day was just filled with a lot of happy people. You know, we're still hearing it today as to how successful that event was. And we need to start doing a little bit more to tell Laredo and our region that we're here. UT System has planted their flag here. They're not going anywhere. Good. That's for sure. And I'm not. So I'm focused on this mission. And, you know, if you don't mind me sharing, you know, growing up, a lot of people didn't have the opportunity to go to a university outside of Laredo. So we came to school here. We didn't have the money, the resources, you know, those things. And some of those things are still happening now, you know. And the beauty of this is that you can't come to us, we're going to come to you. And these programs are top notch. They are fully accredited. They have passage rates that are excellent. I mean, we are very fortunate to have the several UT institutions housed at our campus.
So as far as that is concerned, also, Matt, you mentioned that we're in Laredo. Of course, you know, we have that issue of having enough healthcare and healthcare providers. And I know that's always a challenge, I guess, in every city. But are you keeping track, or are you monitoring who stays? I know the program is fresh and new. So will there be a way of telling who's staying in Laredo as far as after graduation?
Yes, each university tracks their graduate students. So we, at the end of the academic year, we will request that information to send it up to UT System so they can see what is going on here and our success rate. So it is something that each university does, and they take full pride in it. I really need to tell you that. With the new program, the doctorate in occupational therapy, they are still receiving applications, and they have more than 75 applicants, and they can only select 10 to 15. So there's a lot of excitement here. There's a lot. We have the physician assistant program. On campus, we actually have a gross anatomy lab. And, the students are able to be completely immersed in studying through using a cadaver. So we try to create a lot of real world experiences there. And it's also just, a very effective way of teaching.
So I'm going to I might be putting you in a spot, but I'm going to ask you more or less, what is the salary range for some of these degrees once a student graduates? Do you have an idea? I know because you just mentioned physician assistant. I know my niece is a physical therapist. She graduated from another school, but I mean, she literally walked out in her first job. She was making $85,000. That was her first job as a physical therapist. But I don't know about these ones. Are they in that range? Does that depend on where you go or what you do?
It depends on the programs or where they graduate from. For example, physician assistant program, I believe that they pay upwards of $100,000. But we also have dental hygiene. They pay pretty good. All of the programs that we have, they're all going to pay very well. The doctorate in occupational therapy, the first of its kind, and it's a hybrid. And you know what? We don't have enough occupational therapists.
I know. And you know what? I'm going to talk more about that when we get back, because I'm also going to ask you about the campus. It's a beautiful campus. But when we come right back, we're going to be talking some more with Adriana Nunemaker and all about UT here in Laredo. Thanks.
Hola Laredo, Marcela Delgado here, inviting you to join the fun. There's a little bit of everything for everyone. Lifestyle, fashion, wellness, local shops and services, yummy eats, live music, entertainment, and of course, so much more. Catch the Hola segment on air, only on KGNS Plus. Visit our website, holalaredo.com. Follow us on our social media too. Want an interview for your business or event? Send us an email. Talk soon.
KGNS aims to inspire, uplift, and unite our community while showcasing the incredible acts of heroism and leadership that happen right in our backyard. Show us your community spirit. Together, we can empower others and celebrate those who make our hometown a better place to live in. Join us every fourth Tuesday of the month to recognize the drive and commitment from citizens making a change. KGNS Honors, only on KGNS News.
And welcome back to Mind Your Business. Mind Your Business is a good thing. If it sounds like I'm being derogatory, don't think that way. Mind Your Business is all about taking care of business. That's also another song, but we'll get to that later. Right now, we have a very interesting guest with us, Adriana Nunemaker, the Executive Director of the University of Texas Education and Research Center at Laredo. And Adriana, we're having a discussion about so many different things, and we knew this was going to happen when we started.
Yes.
When I told you about the interview, you said, "Okay, which part do you want me to talk about?" Because there's so many, parts to the campus, and within the campus, I also noticed a lot of construction going on, a lot of things. I mean, are you going to be able to keep up with just that campus right now? Do you think?
Well, I am not completely familiar about what is happening at the office. I do know that they do have plans. What those plans are not ready for me
Yeah.
because I will insert myself when it's time to create the diagram of what I want.
I
So
know.
whether they ask me or not.
I know.
But yes, I mean, we are completely full, which is not a bad thing to have.
No, not at all.
But while we have, education programs happening, we have active teaching, we also have, we have support groups. We have a support group that is affiliated with BIGS, and that's a South Texas Alzheimer's Association. So if we have the patient care, we need to have the patient support and the family support. So our partnership with South Texas Alzheimer's was wonderful because we bring information that caregivers need. They also have support groups.
Yeah.
And the focus is also to try to educate the public as much as we can. This monster, if you will, has just continuously spiraled, and we're seeing more and more of that here. So having that connection, that partnership is important, which also leads to how we are very much involved with the Alzheimer's Walk. Mr. Javier de Anda, who's the chair,
Yes.
and Valdemar Perez is the co-chair. And we need to support them as well. And we do. We do.
Yes.
Mhm.
I know that we're very involved with it as a bank too. Coincidentally, Mr. de Anda serves on our board at IBC Bank, and he's been pushing, and we have signage all over the place. Their walk is on November 2nd at
Yes.
the TAMU campus.
Yes.
And I know their goal is big, but I know they can get there. And sadly enough, the dementia and Alzheimer's is rampant. I mean, it's really, and then among the Hispanic community, that's a part that's so distressing. And why talk about healthcare in a business show? Well, because healthcare affects your business. Healthcare affects your employees. Healthcare affects every part of running a business. And lately, we're looking at how we are handling the situations for every employee, because employees are caregivers. So they have to leave sometimes. They have to be out of
Yes.
work. They have to be handling trips to other cities to handle infusion treatments, etc. So we do care about healthcare. We do care about having healthcare in our community here in Laredo, because that's how important it is. Hence why your entity, your institution is vital to us.
Yes, thank you so much for saying that. I certainly understand the immense responsibility that I have in terms of not just students and faculty, but also to patients and their loved ones. It is not something that is easy to do. But if we at least have something that would help them understand certain things and be able to take care of their loved one, that's a little more help. Do we have plans for something bigger? We have to. We can't stay the same. There's pain in change, and there's pain in staying the same. And, we can't stay the same.
I know you have a very good group of support. I've known in the past some of the people that have been involved, other organizations that you've had involved. I know that to some extent, AHEC is involved, but they all helps, or you all have collaborated on certain things. I know that Mr. Schrebel, our international officer, is
Yeah.
part of that too. I remember at one time Dr. Gladys Keene was also kind of a part of that system. So you do invite the community to be a part of your growth and your nurturing.
Yes, there's no doubt about it. The success of the UT Center could not have been just me doing it. I had to have a team, but I also had to have partners and stakeholders. I had to listen to the folks that want to be part of the solution, not just point out the problem. So we do have a good group of folks that support us. IBC is one of those groups. And Mr. Schwebel has been amazing to me ever since I started in 2021. And he's never left my side either. But neither has the family of International Bank of Commerce, because you all have made sure that if there was something we needed, that we could turn to you for that. And so I'm always grateful for that. But I'm also so very grateful to the CEOs of the healthcare hospitals, and also our very most invested folks are our school districts, because we need to start bridging that gap. So while we have dual credit, dual enrollment, one of our universities, UTSA, is offering a minor in Spanish. So by the time that student graduates with a high school diploma, they already have a minor in Spanish. So then they're ready to go in and transition into something else that they want. There's just so many ways that this can happen. And I think that the only thing that we also have to be careful about is, that we don't duplicate sources or resources. We're here to complement both Laredo College and Texas A&M International University. It's not about competing. No. It's about offering as many opportunities as we can to this community.
And
so
that's what's so important. I noticed that because we have branches throughout South Texas, but I noticed the Valley and especially McAllen, you see that cooperation, and we see it here too. And I think that cooperation has to continue happening. And I'm so glad that you're here. I really feel very blessed to have someone like you leading this charge for our healthcare providers in Laredo. And I know it's going to keep growing, and I know we're going to keep supporting it, and I know our community wants to support it because we need it so desperately. So yes. I thank you so much for being here with us today. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. And thank you for allowing me to share just a little nugget of what we do. But we are going to continue to grow, and we are going to be able to offer more things for our community, degrees and healthcare, you name it.
Thank you. And I appreciate that, because we're going to be sharing some information anywhere on our screen of how people can find out more about graduate programs and what you're offering. So we're going to be sharing as much as we can, and we ask everyone to join us and be part of our YouTube channel, part of our social media, and spread the good word about the University of Texas Education and Research Center at Laredo and everything that Adriana Nunemaker is doing for us. So with that, we wrap up and we say, mind your business. It's a good thing.